Welcome back to the stream. Welcome back to another video. Today we're going to get into a variety of topics, but this first topic, we're going to talk about this special Tesla Model 3 and Tesla Model Y lease. It's got a very attractive lease payment at $250 a month, but there is quite a bit that you need to be aware about and how it is. Even though it says $250 a month, there could be some fees. Well, there are some fees that you might not be aware about that might even come on the back end. And who is this lease really for, and what type of payments it might actually make a lot of sense for? But we'll talk about it. But if you're just joining in, my name is Dennis. And let's roll that intro really quick. All right, so thanks for watching another stream. Thanks for watching another video. My name is Dennis, and I love talking about Tesla hacking, as I like to call it, but basically just getting the best deal on a Tesla at the best financing rate. So definitely hit that subscribe if you're interested. And today's video is actually sponsored by my Patreon link down below in the description, where you can support the channel and get access to the ultimate Tesla buying guide out there with all the best interest rates for financing your Tesla. So definitely check it out. Patreon link down below in the description. But let us take a look at this. Let me just triple check the audio really quick to make sure it is good and good. All right, so of course there is now a Tesla Model 3 lease. If you go to the page right now, you'll see that it definitely defaults to 36-month lease first. And at the 36-month lease, it shows a $329 payment. To get this low payment down to $250 a month, you have to switch it to a 24-month term. And I do feel like Tesla is doing this on purpose because they do know what is coming in the pipeline, and that specifically is going to be a Model 3 Highland. We're at least 6 months to maybe even a year out from the Model 3 Highland, so they know if they can get people into a Model 3 lease now, drive it for a year or two, wait till Model 3 Highland really starts to ramp up in production for the US market, that will be perfect time for everybody to get out of these older Model 3s, so that Tesla can sell them, because that is one big drawback with a Tesla lease. And then all those happy customers can get into a Model 3 Highland, and Tesla will still get the vehicle. But that's the biggest thing, and why probably a lot of people feel that this Tesla Model 3 or even Model Y lease is not beneficial, because when you do a lease with Tesla, yes, you're paying these payments, you're paying down a payoff of a lease payout, but you cannot and will not be able to buy out the Tesla vehicle at the end of the lease. So you can't take advantage of any sort of equity pay down. You have to turn in the vehicle to Tesla so that they can go ahead and sell it as a used car to someone else. And so it literally is a rental vehicle at that point. You're just paying basically the same as like going to Hertz and renting a Tesla, but of course it's a lot cheaper because you get to drive it and do whatever you want to it essentially. But that is the biggest thing, is you cannot buy the vehicle at the end of the lease. You just pay the payments and then turn it in at the end of the day. But really, what's the difference here is that with a brand new Tesla Model 3, if you were to buy one today, if you were to drive it for 2 years, your loss would essentially be about the same with the same type of calculations. And so, yes, you probably get the $7,500 federal tax credit, but maybe you don't qualify, or maybe you make too much or too little. And so that's where leasing ensures that you get some sort of value from that. But the biggest thing here is, I'm waiting, if you've placed a deposit for a Tesla Model 3 and you're going to be going down the leasing side, you actually can see all the exact details of the Tesla Model 3 from your back end. If you're someone like that, I would love to see that back end, because it shows you the exact screenshot of all the payment details, taxes, fees, and everything like that, including the exact interest rates. If you're that type of person, please send me a DM. I would love to poke around and see what the back end shows, because I am assuming that Tesla is using part of this $7,500 federal tax credit because they get it, where the bank bank gets it when they lease a vehicle, and they're applying it to buy down the interest rate of a lease, because yes, a lease still has a interest rate, or even buy down some fees or enhance residuals or something like that to get to this very, very, very low payment. The next drawback or hidden thing that you might not be aware about is that Tesla does have a disposition fee. What that is it's a fee at the end of the lease. When you turn in the lease, you're charged a fee that could be $395 a month. But shout out to Owen Sparks. We actually highlighted this post not too long ago. He or they had a Tesla Model 3 lease or Model Y lease, and they were nearing the end of their lease. And this was a post about a promotion that Tesla was offering them to turn in the lease and get into another lease. So, quote, Tesla is offering a pretty substantial loyalty package for upgrading a new vehicle when our current lease ends. In total, it is $2,820 in value. Last 2 months of payments waived, a $395 disposition fee waived, and a $500 credit for excess wear and tear, plus a referral program like the one down below in the description where you can save an extra $250 off, and also 3 months of full self-driving. But let's unpack this a little bit, right? So we just talked about that disposition fee that you usually would get charged at the end of the lease. It seems like Tesla does like promotions and trying to get you into another one, so they waived it for Owen Sparks. The other one is a $500 credit for excess wear and tear. And so this goes to talk about how, like, when you lease a vehicle, it's kind of yours, but it's also really not yours as well. It's Tesla's this whole time, or the financing banks the whole time when you pay your payments. And so if you don't take care of the vehicle, if there's a lot of dings, scratches, if you put tint on it even, they can charge you for wear and tear or modifications to the vehicle. And so they could charge you for trying to remove tint. They could charge you for curb rim repair and things like that. So you kind of have to be aware about those type of things at the end of the lease. You got to take care of the vehicle, just like how if you were to rent a car from Hertz, if you damaged it, then they could charge you as well. But really cool to see that Owen was able to get a $500 credit for excess wear and tear to offset some of those things. And also, like, if you're trading in the vehicle to Tesla and you owe $500 for whatever, they could roll that into the next lease as well. I've not confirmed if Tesla does that, but other dealerships do that with turning in a lease and rolling that negative repair equity into the newest lease. So those are really the top three. So the first thing is disposition fee you might not be aware about. It's $395. The second one is harsh penalties if there's wear and tear. And the last one, at the moment, currently today, there is no lease buyout for leasing a Tesla. But I would imagine if Tesla really, really, really wants to sell these Model 3s and Model Ys, then I could easily see them waiving that buyout and getting into the leasing game a lot more, because I know a lot of people are waiting on the sidelines. They see this low payment, but they want that option to be able to buy it out at the end of the day. Even if Tesla were to add like a lease buyout fee, it might even make a lot of sense to offset some of it so that they could clear the vehicles off their books and get it out into the ecosphere. But definitely some pretty interesting stuff. Let me know what your thoughts on it. We're going to jump into the next topic. But if you're looking for the lowest monthly payment on your Tesla, that's where channel sponsors like Tenet come into play. Tenet is a approved Tesla financing partner and allows you to get the lowest monthly payment for your Tesla. They can do this because they defer a portion of the loan, maybe even this $7,500 federal tax credit. So definitely check out Tenet down below in the description. And thank you to Tenet for sponsoring this video and a bunch of other videos this month. All right. Happy Sunday, everybody. Thanks for coming in. Hopefully you're all doing well. This week is definitely going to be a little bit gnarly in terms of scheduling. So thank you for jumping in when we go live. It's probably not going to be 5:30 p.m. every single day. Some days are going to be later, and some days maybe even be a little bit later than that. Junya, I did start a lease. They do the $7,500 tax credit. Oh, interesting. Could you send me, do you remember the paperwork? Maybe if you could send me a screenshot of it. I'd love to, I go through it line by line and itemize all the different things with the Tesla lease for that. In this next topic, we've got a roundup of Tesla Cybertruck news and spottings, and let's go through them one by one so we can take a look at what has been shown with the latest Cybertruck out there. But if you're just joining in, my name is Dennis. I love talking about Tesla hacking, so definitely hit that subscribe if you're interested. I don't know about you all, but I'm not getting sick of these Tesla Cybertruck spottings, but there are getting to be a lot of them out there. I'm only sick of it because we have no details on when this delivery date is. We have no details on pricing, specs, or anything like that. And so I'm kind of just bored of seeing the same thing over and over. Like, I guess my excitement of it is losing a little bit because we don't know if it's like a realistic truck that's actually coming out or not. But we probably will know a lot more this Wednesday, because this Wednesday is the latest Tesla call or latest Tesla earnings call, where they are definitely, Elon and the team are certainly going to get asked the Tesla Cybertruck question, and they better give some sort of answer. Or not better, but they probably will. But shout out to Tesla Pilot. He posted this. Or they posted this. Now try with air suspension raise. We've got a nice Tesla release candidate Cybertruck with the Cybertruck air suspension pulled up really, really, really high. I wonder if they had to do this to try and reach the Cybertruck plug right there. Here's another one, really cool picture to see that we've got Dirty Tesla posting a DeLorean, which is really cool as well, with the newest Cybertruck in whichever area this is. And now we got the Kilowatts posting this. We've got a spotting of a front camera on the Cybertruck. Really cool to see as well, to see what type of technology. And this is probably the coolest thing that I've seen with the Cybertruck so far. We've got a Cybertruck Sentry mode that actually uses the Cyber Owl to try and deter people away. Really cool to see. I'd rather have this than the red icon, but I guess maybe the red icon or the red light is a little bit more scarier to see than a Cyber Owl, because people might not even see with that. And if you remember those Baja Cybertrucks that have been driving around, we've got that. It seems like they're back in, or one of them is back in America. And it's really cool to see that they're like beating the heck out of this Tesla Cybertruck, and it is still driving around. Another one from Sawyer. We've got a light bar integrated into the top. Really cool to see. I would love this accessory. So hopefully they release it. Hopefully it's a USD DOT approved for that, so we can use it and drive around all over the place. But let me know what your thoughts on it. Let me know if you are just in the same camp as I am with this Tesla Cybertruck and wanting to see it roll out. We're going to jump into the live stream comments after this water break. Noah, can we check if we pre-qualify with Tenet without a credit inquiry? I think it's a soft inquiry, and then it turns into a hard after one. But check the website, and maybe there's an FAQ. But thanks for the question. William, how much is the down payment for the $250 a month for the Model 4? You mean the Model 3 or the Model Y? It's $4,500 down. That's the minimum. That's actually like $4,500 down is the minimum with any sort of Tesla financing, whether it's lease or loan. Tesla wants 10% or give or take around 10% down for the leasing or Tesla financing for the vehicles. All right, what else we got? In this next topic, let's talk about the monthly payments versus a gas vehicle versus a Tesla. If you're early in on your journey and your research, then you're trying to figure out what is the most cost effective in terms of gas versus electricity versus driving a maybe even a clunker car. So let's take a look at it. But if you're just joining in, my name is Dennis. I love talking about Tesla hacking, so definitely hit that subscribe if you're interested. Shout out to Taylor for posting this quote: which is cheaper, a 1999 Mercedes-Benz E320 with 236 miles or a brand new Tesla Model 3? So it seems like there's a calculation here where his wife was trying to figure out what is the cheapest in terms of a commuting. Public transit, in regards to all these different things, adds up to about $45 per day and takes 2 hours each way. A Corolla lease at $269 a month with gas and everything like that was $31 a month. Renting a car, which through GetAround probably doesn't make too much sense because it makes sense at all. Usually rentals don't, unless it's just for like a 2 to 3 month short term. Then you're not going to go longer than that. $822 a month. Driving essentially a beater or a junker would cost $471 a month and probably add a lot of anxiety and stress due to maintenance bills that could pop up at any moment. And then, of course, now there is the Tesla Model Lease, which we just talked about. And they actually did it at a 36-month term instead of the 24-month term, because the 24-month term is even cheaper than the 36-month term. But they were able to calculate at $420 a month. But you might be asking, there's one big thing that they were missing from all these different calculations, and that why commuting via public transit might actually make the most sense. Not to like knock their calculations here, but they are not factoring in car insurance, which insuring a Tesla Model 3, and this seems to be the Bay Area, is easily going to cost them $100 to $200 a month, which actually brings this Model 3 at $420 a month, very close to the public transit at $540 a month. But if you were to factor in the 24-month lease, that might offset it as well. But these are the type of things that you have to do for yourself, right? And figure out by calculating with a gas payment or a car payment plus gas, or a car payment plus gas plus insurance, and versus an electric vehicle plus insurance plus charging at home. And so here's a pretty harsh post from Chansu, but in regards to that last post, this is exactly matches my personal observation so far. Buying a Tesla is now an IQ test now in late 2023. This is because of the low lease payments and how you have to do all these different calculations for gas and electric vehicles plus insurance. But here it is in a nutshell. Shout out to Tenet for posting this, which is a channel sponsor. Really, there are two monthly payments for cars. Quote, number one, the actual monthly financing payment, which is like if you were to lease a BMW at $500 a month, but number two, then there's the monthly, which is the monthly payment plus fuel or gas plus repairs and also insurance. And that's where Tenet comes into play and tries to show you that if you use any sort of financing company for an electric vehicle, your monthly cost is kind of almost where it stops with a Tesla vehicle. Yes, there's insurance on top of that. There really isn't too much maintenance, and electricity, it could be like $50 or $100 a month. But driving another vehicle like a Toyota RAV4 could be have a monthly payment of $600 or $500 a month, plus gas of $100 to $200, plus insurance, plus much more. So really, there's two types of payments out there, and you really have to look at it in a whole type of viewpoint to see what actually is the current cost of the vehicles. I mean, not knocking Toyota, love these vehicles, hybrid vehicles as well, a good stepping stone, and really good, easily maintained as well. But you do have to figure out what makes the most sense for you. And if you do a lot of long road trips, then an electric vehicle like a Tesla maybe doesn't make the most sense for you as well. But if you're commuting around in a certain area, then electric vehicles can certainly make a lot of sense. But definitely some pretty interesting stuff. Let me know what your thoughts on it. We're going to jump into the live stream comments. But before we do that, this video is actually sponsored by my Patreon link. Down below in the description, the Patreon link, support the channel, where you can get access to the ultimate Tesla buying guide out there with all the best interest rates for financing your Tesla. So definitely check it out. Patreon link down below in the description. Viral plus down payment. Yes, 100%. You got to factor in all these different things. Or any type of financing company or any type of financing for an electric vehicle or gas is going to have some sort of down payment. William, how to get a lease for $250? The lowest rate I see for the Model 3 is $329 a month. Well, William, the first thing you got to do is use a Tesla referral code, just like the one down below in the description, where you can get $250 off plus 3 months of full self-driving. Then click the Order Now button, go to Tesla Model 3, pick your build, or maybe even find an inventory one. Make sure you get this green check mark, switch it to lease, and then go down to here, switch the 36-month term to 24-month term. And that's where you get the beautiful, nice low payment of $245 a month for the Tesla Model 3. It's a pretty fantastic deal, that is for sure, especially if you just need a car short term and you don't really care about all the other things that we talked about before, then it could really make a lot of sense. But thanks for watching, everybody. Thanks for supporting, and I'll see you guys in the next one. See ya.